just to try it with Martin, and he's got a 3090, which, by the way, is a very expensive video game card. The 3090. I think we're talking over 1,500. Yeah.
Mad.
And I'm getting 60 frames at 1440p. Okay, ultra wide, but with ray tracing and all the poo. And he was like, "Yeah, 120." And I'm like, "Paperweight." Paperweight. Speaking of ray tracing, let me double check. We are live. Speaking of ray tracing, I saw that that game Observer that I bought before. I think you played it as well. Yes. They're coming up with a Redux version of it with a couple of add-ons with ray tracing. Now that game I think will suit ray tracing. I'm interested.
Yeah.
I actually never finished it before, and I quite liked it anyway. So I thought I'll go back to it with
so
all the.
You cannot finish it again.
So I cannot finish it again.
You cannot finish it again.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. Well, we are indeed live. Oh, so let me just put that on silent. Put this one on silent as well. We're live. Live and kicking. Let's go. Yeah? Ready for the podcast. Let's podcast. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Monkey Tale podcast. I am your host, Bruno Pinto, and with me as ever, I have my friend / co-host, Mr. Marius Dunkley. How are you doing, sir?
Hello, I am good.
You know, we've recorded live a few times now. I want to say 5-6 times, give or take. And I've noticed that I can never mess the opening anymore. Because I used to mess the opening like sometimes 5 times and then just keep going. But now I cannot mess it up. So
well, you say that. What we normally do is wait until 5 minutes into the podcast before we realise we've messed up and then have to start again.
Well, we do that, yeah. I have checked the levels before we started. I could see your voice coming through the Discord. I've also applied a couple of filters to it.
As long as you can see my voice, that's fine.
I could see the wavelength. Well, you know, aren't we all just data? You know, really, ones and twos, and that.
Ones and twos on the ones and twos.
Or ones and zeros. And zeros, you know what I mean. We are only that, I think. We are. How are you anyway? You doing well? How are you doing through COVID?
I am good. I don't have it.
Good. Well, that's a start.
Absolutely. As of Tuesday, I'm going to be officially unemployed, which sucks. So yeah, that's a bit of a bummer, but there you go. So if anyone listening wants to give me a job, here I am.
Yep, he makes a good pasta. So if you need any chefs,
no
chefs.
I'm not sure. I'd offer my services as chefing. I mean, I can cook food.
If Playground Games are listening, and you need somebody with a witticism required to go and do Fable, look no further than Marius Dunkley. I think
I do have a strong line in sarcasm. To be fair,
exactly, and Fable is drenched in that. So you can do anything really in Fable. I mean, you cannot program and you cannot draw, right? Let's face that. Okay,
correct.
I know you can't draw.
Yeah.
However, you can write some stuff. You can write some sarcasm. You can even do some voices if need be. Can you do any other accent rather than Lamington?
Well, I was going to say I can do a voice. To say that I could do voices.
I'm sure. Can you not do a Scouse accent or something if they need a sarcastic Scouse fairy or something?
I'm not very good at doing voices. That's my first stab at. That's my artwork.
Oh wow! Yeah, can you move it more to your left, please? To the other side, the other way. There we go. More the other way. Yeah, that's good. That's it. Yeah. Now do me a favor. Put in a shredder. Put that in a shredder. And this is great for the audio listeners.
Oh, it is brilliant.
Mario's showing his stick.
Well, you should tune in live if you want golden artist work like that.
Of course. That goes without saying. You actually threw.
The offers as a game artist are going to flood in now.
You threw, and also you thrown your camera out of autofocus now because you did that tilt thing. So do me a favor, that's it. Just put your hand in front. That's it. Perfect.
There we go.
Yeah, the autofocus. It was like I cannot find the stickman anymore. Your camera kept
looking for it. Well, I want to see it again. Yeah,
the camera was looking for a stickman. Couldn't find anything. I was gonna say we got a fantastic podcast title already now as well, which is I think sarcastic Scouse Fairy. It's definitely gonna be the podcast title. Right, let's start. We got lots of opening questions brought to us by Marius. First, yes, not by Marius, by Martin. Did I say by Marius?
You did say that.
I always get it wouldn't be a Monkey Tail podcast if I didn't get those two mixed up. Right, he started with a tough one. I mean, you might not have an answer for this one. In fact, I'm not going to read it. I'm going to go straight to the second one. Should video games allow you to shoot cats?
I mean, I have nothing against video games allowing me to shoot cats. I mean, don't think I'd necessarily do it. I quite like a cat.
So
I mean, video games do let you shoot cats, don't they? Far Cry lets you shoot cats.
Well,
admittedly big cats, but still cat.
More on that later. We were playing Wasteland 3 on co-op, and I must say that's been some cat mutilation against my will. Now, the last video game character you played is going to be your roommate for the next year. How do you feel, and what game would that be?
Yeah, I'd feel all right. It would be one of the skaters from Tony Hawk's.
Okay, so it'll be your roommate for the next the next year. Okay, right. For me, my roommate for the next year. It's a difficult one, really. I mean, that's not a bad answer. One of the skaters from Tony Hawk.
That's bad.
Yeah, that is much better. Yeah, that is good.
I didn't like my fuzzy face.
Yeah, I didn't like your fuzzy face either. I don't know. I'll come back. I'll circle around to this one because there's more questions to go. What is the most epic moment in the history of video games?
I mean, that's quite a big question. When I scored over 200,000 on Donkey Kong.
Right, that is good. For me, is when I mean, it's boring, but it's when I broke into the top 100 on in the world in Pro Evolution Soccer. That's hard. That's hard to get there, and I kept it for nearly a year, and then I stopped playing. The next year I tried it, and I couldn't even break top 500. It was annoying. So
yeah, it's surprising how quickly you drop off, isn't it? You've got to be doing this constantly to keep up with those sort of things.
I was playing a lot of hours on it, and this is before internet was. I mean, you could play online. That's why I got the rank. But it was before internet was good. You know, it's like somebody sneezed, then you lose the game because internet is lost connection. What moment is the last one? What moment in a video game made you go, fuck this, okay, I'll stop now?
Something recently.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it? I can't remember.
I mean, this happened.
Something
this happened.
Oh, I know. It was Val Faris.
Okay.
2D Contra type game, the final boss, because it was a 3-stage boss. I think like you fight 3 different bosses.
Yeah.
In fact, they each have different stages, but you have to go back to the first one every time if you die. So you just had to keep fighting the first one because they were bloody proper difficult, like it's Contra style, so like they were tough, and it just kept making you replay. So you got really good at the first boss and you could do it easily, but then you get onto the second one or the third one and it's like you die after a few seconds and it's like, oh, now I've got to go through and replay those same bosses again just to get back to try the other one, and that for me was like, no, this is you're making me repeat the same thing again and again. I hate that.
For me, it was Cuphead. The second island, there was like 2 or 3 bosses you could approach because you can, the way that the game is structured, you can go for more than one boss. It's not linear in that way. And I tried one super hard, tried the other one even harder, tried the other one ridiculous, go back to the first one super hard, and then I think the first one was the one in the plane where you go with the plane and you having to shoot or dodge the plane or something. And I tried all of them countless times. Then I assessed what I think correctly, that from the three, one of them was the weakest, which is I don't remember which one it was, but it wasn't the flying one. It wasn't, it was one of the other two. And I was like, okay, I think this one is the weakest. Got him to his second phase a few times, but then he gets crazy and just takes you out every time. And I said, fuck this. This is just not gonna happen for me. It's just it's not fun. It wasn't fun anymore for me. So I was like, no, thank you. Fuck this. So that was me, Cuphead. I know you obviously finished it and you quite like Cuphead yourself.
Yeah, I more than quite like it. It's amazing.
And going back to the last video game character you played is going to be your roommate for the next year. I'm gonna go with one of the Mass Effect characters. What's the other one that's a sniper? He has one. Garrus would be my I like him. I don't know why. I think he's a cool dude. Cool. Yeah, he'll have some war stories to tell me, so he'll be my roommate for a year. Plus, if anyone pisses me off, he can just snipe them from across the room. So I like it. Without paying TV license, shoot the TV license guy. I actually don't watch TV, but you know what I mean. It's funny. Right, okay, so that's opening questions by Martin. Thanks, Martin, for that. Let's move on to that looks interesting. I want to talk about something that does look interesting. It probably doesn't affect us so much here in the UK, but I think it has certainly massive implications in America and I think in Europe as well, which is Microsoft. Microsoft has announced a partnership with GameStop, a corporate partnership where they'll give them Surface tablets and Office 365, and actually revamp the way they communicate between teams and how they use Microsoft products to do a better have better operations, right? So that was the announcement. But buried in the announcement, and then GameSpot came and confirmed this. They've confirmed that any console GameStop sells, be it console on its own or one through those pay monthly deals that Xbox are doing with their consoles, any future digital sales from those consoles, they'll get a percentage out of it. Okay. Now the interesting thing is that your cat going in?
No, it's Steph. I had to take the handle off the door. The door was getting jammed and the handle wasn't opening it, so I was concerned that Steph was going to get stuck in the room. So I had to take the handle off the door, and I have not yet purchased a new one. So
that's fair enough. But yes,
that might not be the only interruption to the
podcast. That's quite all right. So yeah, Microsoft has done this announcement. So GameStop, which is massive in America, and in UK, I don't think there's any more stores. There used to be a few, but there's none anymore. However, Italy, Germany, France have shitloads of GameStops as well. And why I think this is interesting, because this. If Microsoft are giving, well, they are. If they're offering this deal to GameStop, and let's say Sony and Nintendo are not, yeah. If you're GameStop executives and managers, you go into your staff and say, you push Xbox because Xbox keeps us in business. Because if we sell more Xboxes, we get a percentage of any other sales on those consoles. Because let's face it, a lot of people buy consoles in a place like that, and then probably just buy the games online or whatever, or buy the games digitally. You might not have repeat business, right? So I think that's massive, and it almost forces Nintendo and Sony to do something, or potentially allow GameStop, which in the UK not massive, not even existing anymore, but in this other big markets to push. There's nothing. The GameStop isn't saying we're going to push Microsoft more, but it's business 101. Of course, you're going to sell the thing that's going to make you more money, right? If I'm a manager at GameStop, or I'm an executive manager at GameStop, I'm going to be saying, you want to have your job, keep us afloat, sell more Xboxes, because that's what makes us more money. So I think that's very interesting. What do you think about
that? Yeah, indeed. I think it'd be interesting to see if it happens with any other retailers. I mean, it's a very smart move of Microsoft to do that. To obviously, as there is a move to online and digital game sales, I think, and yet they obviously still need someone to sell the consoles. I think it's a very smart move of Microsoft to do that. To be fair, I mean, Microsoft at the moment are definitely adopting the pay-to-win approach, aren't they?
Yes. Well, I would say they adopting the pay-to-win. I think that's a fair comment. Or somebody else might say that they're investing on their business quite very, very well. But I also think that everything we've said so far on the last few podcasts has always been Microsoft has made the smart move. Microsoft is being consumer friendly. Microsoft, none of it is Microsoft is being an evil corporation. None of it. It's all been positive for the video game industry. I mean, this one probably less so because potentially you have a video games a store that sells video game consoles potentially pushing a product over the other. But that's just business.
I think it all depends on how successful it is. I think putting a bit of competition for Sony is good. I think it would depend on how big a competition that ends up being, and how challenging Sony find that. Because if there isn't a Sony at some point to challenge Microsoft and there's only Nintendo, that would be bad. That's the only way this would be bad.
Of course, and that's this. The thing as well is this is one we know about, but there's nothing potentially stopping Microsoft here in the UK to go to Game and offer the same deal. Listen, it's a no-brainer game. We're not asking you to push our consoles more. We're just saying any console you sell from us, you get a percentage. A commission for anything, so they can just offer that to Game or to anyone else really, and then sorry, we're being photobombed there by Steph. What time is this? I need to there's gonna be some extra editing for me to do.
Sorry.
That's quite all right. Yeah, I think it's an interesting move and certainly worthy of us talking about. Yeah, Microsoft currently are doing all the right moves, So it's going to be an interesting competition. With these next gen consoles. It also makes me think: can they do something like that with Nintendo? Can they say to Nintendo, put Game Pass on the Switch? Yeah. So Game Pass on the Switch, where with the Game Pass app, you have all these games that can be played on the Switch. Maybe a light version of Xbox, and then any one you sell, not only you get the percentage, any add-ons they buy from it, etc. You get so they could be doing things like this, and then it makes me think: if I'm Nintendo, why not? Yeah, sure, put Game Pass on Nintendo. Why would I say no?
Yeah, indeed. I don't think they'll get to that. I think they've already come out and said, is it Phil Spencer?
Phil Spencer, yes.
Has already come out following their acquisition of ZeniMax, and he's basically said in questions as to whether future Bethesda games will be on PS5, he's basically said, I don't understand a reason why we would need to do that.
Exactly.
So, and I think that's it. He's like, why would we put things out that are taking away from our? We said we've got PC, we've got Xbox, we've got the xCloud. Why would I put my stuff anywhere else? So I don't think they are interested in getting Game Pass to Nintendo or anywhere else. Why would they?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they've definitely put games on Nintendo which are Xbox exclusives. They put Ori on Nintendo, and they put a couple other games. I know that recently they like 2 or 3 games they put onto Nintendo, where they haven't put it onto Sony, and there's no reason why they had to put it on Nintendo. But they just said, you know what, Nintendo is a good console for these games. We're gonna put Ori there. Ori, and by the way, Ori, what a game, right? So I'm saying, so there's a bit of a relationship there with Nintendo that I'm not seeing with Sony. So that's why I said potentially.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think it's interesting times, and I cannot wait to see where we go with this. But yes, Microsoft making another smart move, pretty much bribing companies to well, free commission. I know if I'm a salesperson and somebody says to me, sell this safe and you get £100, sell this other safe, you get 1,000, I'm gonna go like, 1,000 it is, and then it becomes a question of, will I sell the safe that I get 1,000 to a company that doesn't require it? Then it becomes a question of, would I do that? And because I'm a good salesperson, I wouldn't, because if you want to repeat sales, you need to sell the right product, of course. But to a GameStop, you have an old lady coming in, I need to buy a console to my grandson. Which one do you recommend? Microsoft's. That's it. That's the one they're going to be taking. Let's face it, right? So I think it's interesting. It's a very interesting move. Well, there you go. That's Microsoft. Should we move on to the playlist? Oh, I'm not used to seeing so many people on chat.
I know. I'm blown away.
This is crazy.
Conversations happening and everything.
Yeah, that's crazy. Right. Let's move on to the playlist. Marius, you've been playing more Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
More Tony Hawks, yeah. So I mean, I don't have a lot to add, other than I just want to echo what an amazing game that is. This might be the only game I play for some time, to be honest with you. I've been playing it a hell of a lot. I absolutely love it. I'm cautiously heading towards the platinum.
Okay.
Whether I'll get there or not, I'm not sure, because it is it's quite a lengthy, time-consuming platinum. But at the moment, I'm enjoying every second of it. So I've been through, and I've 100%ed both of the games, done all the goals and everything, and so I think by having the platinum and all the challenges that you have to do in order to get that is really extending the life of the game, because I don't think I'm not just going to play the levels again just for the sake of it, I don't think.
Yeah.
So for me, and a lot of this stuff is more difficult than some of the stuff that you have to do in the course of the normal game. So by going for the platinum is really extending the game for me and giving me a lot more to do with it. So yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. I think this is a phenomenal remake, a phenomenal game. I just feel so comfortable with it. It's one of those, it's just from having played it previously and now being sort of multiple hours into the game, it's just a really nice, comfortable game to play.
So you say you go quietly going to a platinum. Obviously, you have a ridiculous amount of platinums. I think something like 50 odd or something, right?
Something like, I don't know. I stopped counting a little while ago.
Right, but I feel that over the last year or two, you kind of ramped down. You haven't really tried.
Absolutely.
So what was the last platinum you did prior to this attempt you're doing now? You don't remember?
Without me going on the console and checking, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Right. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. I've been playing Forza Motorsport 7. So they've this came a bit from left field to me. Obviously, I've heard about the game. Came out in 2017, so obviously it's been out on Xbox for a while, and they've certainly done a 4K version of it as well for the Pro version as well when it came out, the Xbox One X. I mean, so it's certainly not a new game, but when it showed up on Game Pass on PC, I was like, oh yeah, I used to love the Forza games. Recently, I played more the Horizon variety because I do like arcade stuff, and I think the guys at Playground Games have made an amazing job with Forza Horizon. But I thought, well, why not? So downloaded the game and tried it, and wow, I mean, what a game! I mean, that's they've done a great job there with Forza Motorsport 7. So much so that now I cannot wait for the next installment, whatever that's going to be, because you already seen with ray tracing and everything, just looks a great, amazing. But onto this one here. It's one of those games. He has that Gran Turismo thing that I used to love back on the PS2 and PS3. You wanna get more cars, and you have to obviously earn the cash, and you have to do the competitions, and as all of that. But what he has the Microsoft thing they put in the background. So you have the driver tires. Driver tires really do work. So when I'm playing against, say, somewhere like I play with a friend of mine, Vossi. He's very good at racing games, and when I'm playing against his Dravatar, the way he takes certain corners and the way he is aggressive is similar to his playstyle. So they really do take certain keys from your playstyle and put it onto the game. So it never feels like I'm playing against 21 other AI bots. It feels like I'm playing against 21 personalities. I mean, not one-to-one personalities, but with certain similarities, definitely. And it's never surprised that the better players do tend to finish towards the end. Finish with you towards the end, and obviously the worst ones obviously tend to stay back. The way they changed it from the previous Forzas I played before, you have all your driver assists, and you can just on the previous games you could just turn driver assists off, and that will give you more points. You earn more credits. They took away that, and with the card system instead, you can have 4 active cards at any point, and those cards could say, for instance, turn the ABS off, but we give you 100% more money at the end of the thing. By the way, don't turn the ABS off. every time I do that, I end up on the fucking thing. On the gravel. I cannot drive without ABS. That's for me anyway. But certain things, like you can turn, you have the driving line off. You can turn that off, and you get extra stuff. So that's all great. And I guess the new thing, and I think this was in Forza Horizon, but not as evident as this one, is the changing weather. So you can start the game. You can start like a 20 lap race, and it might go from sunny to it starts raining, and then puddles start building up, and you do really aquaplane, and you do really feel like you're driving in the rain, and then maybe it stops raining, and the track starts drying again. They really got the dynamic weather. It's just, I've never seen anything as good as that on any game. It really does feel like you fight in the elements, and then obviously I'm not playing with full simulation on. But if I was playing with full simulation on, I would have to change tires and stuff like that, because tires you have won't be useful on the rain. It's great. It's just a lot of fun. I put more hours than I thought I was going to put into it. There's like 6 competitions to complete, like 6 trophies to go for. I think I'm like halfway done on that, and I'm probably gonna just do all of them because it's fun. I just really like it. I like the sounds. The game has the sound. The car sounds are great, especially when you go into a tunnel and you hear the revving in the tunnels. And when there's more cars, it really feels realistic, and it looks great. Look great as well. And they've got the ultra wide support. So yeah.
I've hit download on it, so I might well have a go. I'm not promising anything, but Tony Hawk is still priority for a while. So
before we move on to your other game you've been playing, I want to talk about another Game Pass game. It's all Game Pass this week, apart from for me anyway. Wasteland 3. I never played the Wasteland before, but Martin, a friend of the show, Martin, asked me to download the game because there's a co-op version on this one. And typically the Wasteland games, you can have up to six players, not online players. You can have 6 characters which you guide throughout the world, and you level up all those 6 characters. And when you're fighting, it's a bit like XCOM. You can place them whatever, and then they have turns, and there's a turn-based combat, and you have action points, how much you can move or attack, or you very much like XCOM, the fighting.
Yeah.
But the way they done the online co-op is you each have your character +2. So the six characters you have, you each command a team of 3, and it's great. It's like Fallout. It's like the original Fallout. It's isometric. It's really funny. Post-apocalyptic, all of that stuff I like, but I like the fact that it's very RPG. So you have your skills and your perks, and you really have to try and balance that out. And normally when you're playing a game like that, you go like, I'm gonna level this up, level that up. That's what you do. But with this one here, you kind of have to go like, okay, so I'm gonna concentrate my guy on being, this one is a sniper, and I'm gonna put computer skills or something with it. Can you do the lock picking? So you kind of like, you have to split the because you cannot obviously level up everything at the same time. So you kind of like splitting the thing in two, and then things like, for instance, let's say we're doing a conversation, and say a particular dialogue line needs Barter 3. Yeah, let's say that Martin is started the conversation. You could just hand the conversation to me, and because I have Barter 3, I can just then intervene and say. Okay. So it's really clever the way they've done the co-op. I'm really impressed by it. It's a fun game. I don't know if you would like it. I don't know if
I'm pretty sure I wouldn't.
But I like it. I think it's great.
It sounds good for people that are into that, but it just doesn't sound like my sort of game, I have to be honest.
Yeah, but no, it's great. Wasteland 3, and again, ultra-wide support. They're doing a great job on PC. Game Pass they're picking. They put in the extra work, because it could be easy. It could be really easy for Microsoft to go like, game works on the Xbox, the PC version, just make it 16:9. There's no point on spending the extra resources to for ultra wide and stuff like that. Which, to be fair, a lot of companies do. Even big companies do. They just don't. There's too few ultra wide monitors out there for them to bother to be able to do that. But Microsoft is just pretty much doing it with every one of their games. They just out of the bat, they just go like, yeah, just make put the support there from day one, and it's great. It really feels consumer friendly at the moment. Yeah, that's Wasteland 3, and that's why he shot my cat. So we saw a cat, and he kept shotting every cat he saw. It's pissing me off, because one of my characters has like the animal instinct. I can get animals to join the party. And on that, actually, I got a chicken to join the party, and we thought, oh, that's funny, because you got a chicken on the party now, and it's gonna, get shot straight away. And then it was obviously turn-based. The chicken went in and just killed somebody, just like pecking them to death. I'm like, bloody hell, the chicken is crazy. So then, obviously, now I always aim to have a chicken on my party, because they're vicious there. Okay, I think we might have lost Marius.
Never underestimate a chicken.
Yeah, we got.
Oh yeah. So things went weird for a second there.
No problem. All right. Okay. Moving on to you then. You've been playing Night in the Woods. What's that? It sounds like a VR game. For some reason, it sounds like a VR game.
It is not a VR game.
A shame.
I'm afraid it's a side-scrolling adventure game. So it's something I've had my eye on for a while, but it's never quite been cheap enough for me to take the plunge on it. But of course, Game Pass has come and saved the day.
Was it on Game Pass as well?
Yeah. So yes, it is. So I think it's a couple of years old, probably now. At a guess. It's one of those. I remember reading about it in Edge, and I thought it sounded quite interesting. So essentially, all the characters in there are animal. Different types of animals. So you play this cat who's essentially a college dropout. So has been to college, failed at college, and is now sort of returning home to her hometown. And it's all quite amusing in places. So, like for example, the first night when she's there, she gets to the bus station or whatever, and like her parents aren't there to pick her up, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And it turns like when she ends up making her way back to her parents' house. Her parents are like, "Oh, we thought it was tomorrow you were due back." Just like they don't really give a shit. So there's a bit of a thing there, and essentially it's basically wandering around chatting to people. I mean, there's clearly something going on there. You clearly did something in the town before you left for college.
Okay.
Because people keep mentioning
Haven't we all?
about yeah, indeed. People keep mentioning about what you've done, that you've done something previously, but so far it hasn't. I haven't found out what that is. And there's some a few quite amusing things. So you you end up finding a severed arm on the floor, and the basically the way you deal with that is just someone says, "Right, why don't you poke it with a stick?" So you get a stick and you can control it and poke this arm around. But then by poking the arm and moving it around, you sort of find a tattoo on it as a sort of clue,
Yeah.
and then you sort of start investigating. There's some sort of light puzzling in there. Um, yeah, it's one of I'm slightly disappointed by it overall, to be honest with you. It hasn't quite clicked with me, which I'm surprised about because, like I said, when I read about it in Edge and everything about it, I thought, oh, this sounds really like my sort of thing.
Yeah.
And whilst it's clearly sort of a well-made indie game, just for some reason the humor and the mechanics just aren't quite clicking with me somehow. So I think I'm probably gonna leave it there. But I think maybe it might just be me, as I mentioned last time. And I'm in a bit of a gaming lull at the moment. Tony Hawk is the only thing that's keeping me going at the moment. So maybe the problem is me, not the game.
Well, I don't know. I was just looking on Game Pass here when you said that I wanted to have a look at the screenshots as you were describing the game. It looks fun, and I just noticed that Katana Zero is now available, and that's one that's been on my radar. So
likewise, literally, I downloaded it because I saw it when I went to download Forza.
Yeah, so Katana Zero might be.
I nearly got excited about it. So yes, that I am looking forward to. Likewise, I've been after that for a while.
So and obviously Age of Empires 3, which I know it's snooze fest for you, but it's installed and ready to go as well. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. It did really say something interesting there, which is the game was too expensive, or you were waiting for the right price, and then it came out on Game Pass. Other than the big games we're excited for and the ones we're gonna get, I find that it's gonna be very difficult to buy a game now because just wait a bit because it'll be on Game Pass or on Epic Store at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. I do that quite a lot, and I have done for some time. To be honest, even before Game Pass with PlayStation Plus and things like that, it's one of the. I definitely give that some consideration. If there's a game that I'm thinking of buying, that's one of my first thoughts: is what's the likelihood of this being on one of the being available somewhere else without me actually having to buy it. So yeah, I think that's a serious consideration.
I don't know. I mean, I think speaking of games I'm gonna buy, I think the only game on my radar to buy now is the new Assassin's Creed game because obviously I like Odyssey so much. Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely gonna be getting that. I think it comes out soon. Is it next month or something? It comes out that one.
It must be console launch, isn't it? So
yeah. So I mean, it will launch on PC as well, I'll imagine. So that's my next one. Obviously, I've already bought Cyberpunk. I know. I'm that guy. Don't pre-order the games. And it goes and pre-orders the game himself. But that's only because it was the right price to pre-order. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it either. So obviously, that's only two really. But yeah, you're right. Games like I don't know. I don't know if I should get it or not because eventually they're gonna end up on Game Pass. But yeah. That's good. So yeah, so next week I think Katana Zero might be on the conversation.
Sounds likely, doesn't it? Yep.
It does sound very very likely. Right. Okay. Well, that's the games we've been playing. I've noticed you haven't put anything on the why don't you? Have you got zero recommendations?
No, I do have a few, but I wasn't sure about any of them. They're quite specific ones, and I thought I'd see how the podcast went. So what I will go with, I'm sticking to my guns, and I'm staying on the skateboarding tip. There's a tenuous link to skateboarding here.
Okay.
I'm going to recommend Steve-O. Do you remember Steve-O from Jackass?
The one with the big tattoo of Steve-O in his back?
Yes. Yes. That's the one.
I do remember Steve-O.
So somehow or other, you know how you just end up wasting your time on social media or YouTube or whatever, and
Yeah,
going from video to video looking at random shit.
YouTube
One of those,
hole. Yeah,
yeah, the internet hole.
yeah.
Yes,
YouTube
I fell
mostly for
down the
me.
internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I fell down that hole, and somehow I ended up seeing a video of Steve-O, and I was like, wow, he's quite different now. The way that he comes across and his sort of demeanor and personality is quite different. I thought he's comes across as sort of quite a humble, honest guy in some of the stuff that he's sort of saying. So
All right.
um, I found him quite interesting to watch. I always thought he was a bit of a prick.
Yeah.
To
That
be
was
honest
my
with
when you were saying that, I was thinking, well, I think it's a bit of a prick, but fair enough.
and it turns out he was a bit of a prick, but I think he's definitely changed somewhat. Look, I think all of the guys from Jackass are a bit of pricks to do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
To do what they do, you have to be a bit of a prick, don't you?
Yeah.
I think it's par for the course. Um,
I still
but
like on
like,
Jackass when they took the rented car back completely destroyed after they did something there with it, and then he says, "I hate the dog," and runs away. That's hilarious.
yeah, and like I didn't realize. I mean, literally, he's recorded his entire life on tape. Basically, he got given a video recorder by his dad when he was it 11 or something like that,
Yeah.
and basically since then almost his entire life is documented. It's mad
Yeah.
how much footage this guy has got. So it's sort of interesting seeing him like on his YouTube channel or whatever he goes through. We'll look at some of these videos and whatnot, and like looking at his skateboarding career, because he was a genuinely good skateboarder, not professional level, but he's really pretty good at skateboarding.
Yeah.
Um, and it also led me on like some of the dark side. Like I say, he used to be a bit of a prick. He also used to be heavily into drugs of various descriptions,
Yeah.
um, and like seeing some of the footage of him when he was in his drug binge days, it's terrifying, like absolutely terrifying.
It
Um,
normally is when you see like pictures from anyone really that when
Yeah, it is, but, like, I think to see it all videoed like this, and you can just see this guy, like, he's, like, talking to, like, he's, like, proper voices in his head stuff, proper sort of
oh,
drug, like, what's it, narcosis, and it's, like, terrifying to see. But I think one of those things, it's sort of worth watching.
yeah.
There was a documentary on, I think it was originally on MTV, what was it called? Steve-O
MTV, is that still a
Demise.
thing?
Yeah, I don't. I've no idea. Um, yeah, called Demise and Rise, which sort of shows him through this period, and looking at all these videos and seeing his sort of downfall. But then obviously to see him now, it completely different once he's managed to um, get off those drugs and whatnot. He comes across as very much a different person. And of all the people that saved his ass, it was the other people in Jackass. Basically, they literally went and got him and took him into rehab because he was sending some dodgy emails. Um, to people that was a bit worrying. So yeah, I think I recommend Steve-O today. That's what you should do. Go and have a look at some of Steve-O's videos, and I think also, like, it makes you think, like, I had a certain perception of him and who he
Yeah.
was and what he was like, and I think sometimes going back and assessing people with a slightly different knowledge and whatnot is worth doing.
Okay, no, that does sound interesting. I might try and find that documentary. We got Twisties on chat saying he does a lot of work for drug rehabilitation now as well. So that's good to hear. I have a few recommendations. I mean, I recommended Evans River last podcast when I only had listened to about half of the book. now that I've listened to the other half, I have to even strongly more recommend because it's see, I've done a fake out there. It's great. It's really really good. It left me wanting more though. I think more than when he finished the original trilogy of the Bobbyverse, Dennis E. Taylor. With this one here, he finished it with a bow, like it's done. That particular story is finished, but he left it a lot more open for potential new books. And I didn't know this, but when he wrote the Bobbyverse books, he was not full-time writer. He had a job, and when he was doing that type of things, and since then he's kind of gone full-time writing. So he's trying to be a proper writer, which I think he is anyway. I think is amazing. So potentially you could see certainly more Bobbyverse books, and I hope they do more, because this was a good one. This might be, I don't know, it's as good as the first three, potentially even better in parts, than the first three. It's great. It's I highly recommend it. Which got me. I mean, I spent about like 4 books on the current Audible sale, including one you recommended, which I'm going to listen at some point, which is the Survivor, which I know you recommended before. So I got that for.
Oh right, okay.
I got that for a couple quid, so I was like, couple quid, why not, right?
Why not? Yeah, well, yeah, you can't do any harm. Yeah, I'll be interested to see if that's your thing or not.
I also bought The Martian because I've read The Martian. I've read The Martian, and obviously I've seen the movie a couple times. Yes. I've never listened to the other book. Will Wheaton, I can take it or leave it. Sometimes he's great, sometimes he's not so good. I'm hoping this is one of his good ones. He doesn't have to do many voices, so I hope he's one of the good ones.
Yeah, from memory, he did a good job. I certainly love that audiobook.
So yeah, I'm gonna listen to the audiobook of The Martian, because I think it's fair to say that The Martian is my favorite book. I think from all the books I've read.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I think it's that good. Yeah, I mean, have I read more artistic books? Yes, I've read things from I've read things from Kazuo Ishiguro, like which is like a proper writer. I've read lots of different books. So is it the most artistic book? No, but I think it's the only one that I could not put down. I literally could not put the book down when I was reading it. I pretty much read it in, I think, a couple sittings when I read it, and literally started reading it in the afternoon, and then went to sleep, and then woke up the next day and read the rest. That's what I do with The Martian. I loved it. So it's one of my favorite books. Right, but my recommendations are none of that. Obviously, I was just reinforcing the previous recommendation. A couple of Apple TV shows. First one, Ted Lasso, which is it's a comedy based in England. It's basically a premiership team. The wife of the owner takes over because on a divorce she gets the club, and she. I guess it's not a big spoiler because it's like literally first episode. She has some. She's a bit vindictive about things, so so she decides to let's fuck with the club. So she fires the manager and hires an American football coach from the like Division 2 in America, and just hires him to come and because football, yeah, the same thing, and gets him to come and manage the club. But it's very funny, it's very inspirational, and it's about how sometimes you don't need to know the sport to coach. It's about coaching people and yeah. So it's great. It's really funny. There's some proper laugh out loud moments there. Honestly, it's very, very well written. So yeah, that's I recommend Ted Lasso. And the other one is which is more for you, because Ted Lasso, I don't know, it's a touch and go if you like it or not. Yeah. The other one you will definitely like is The Long Way Up, which is Ewan McGregor's.
Oh yes, yeah, I'm familiar with it. I've not seen it, but I know of it.
Yeah, it's great. So they decided to do this Long Way Up, so all the way from Argentina to Los Angeles.
It's all on motorbikes, isn't it?
All on motorbikes. That's what they've done the previous two. But the difference here is they've decided to do it on electric bikes. Not just them, the crew as well. Even though, spoiler alert, they kind of like cheat straight away, because yes, the crew, the producers are on 2 prototype electric pickup trucks, and yes, they are on 2 prototype Harley Davidson electric bikes. Yes, but the third bike person, the cameraman, is on the petrol Harley Davidson, and they do have a Sprinter van on running on diesel with solar panels following it. So it's not quite all on electric stuff, but they tried. And it's great because they proper fuck it up straight away. Like first episodes, they keep getting the range wrong because they're in Patagonia in Argentina and in Chile, and nowhere to fucking they stop in different places like a pub or a little bar or a little restaurant in the middle of nowhere. Can we use your electricity? The circuit breakers are shit. They keep cutting off the light and they cannot charge the bikes. They really struggle, and bikes as well in the cold. The cold batteries really struggle to take a charge, so they really fuck it up to start with. But then they kind of like start getting their legs into it. But it's great. The first episode is really just the setup, them trying to find the bike, talking to Harley Davidson, then as well about getting the pickup trucks. It's really interesting documentary, and then it's great just to see that they have it's all in 4K HDR, and they have this. GoPro cameras on the helmets, and the third guy, the cameraman, has like drone pictures, and it's like seeing the Patagonia and the desert part and the icy mountains and all of that. It's just beautiful scenery to look at, and it's just this road trip, and they just trying to do this whole journey on bikes. I've only seen, I think, 3 or 4 episodes, so I haven't not seen the whole thing yet. In fact, I not even think the whole thing is out yet. It's every Friday it's coming out, but it's great. It's a great little documentary to watch. Yeah, The Long Way Up and Ted Lasso, which is all out. Ted Lasso is funny. That's my recommendations. I've done 2. Do you want to throw another one in, or not? Are you good?
No, I think I'm probably good. I mean, you've already recommended it before, but I have just watched the first season of The Mandalorian.
Yes. Season 2 is coming out as well.
And I know season 2 is the end of the month, I think. How do they release that? Is that a week by week, or do they drop the whole season all in one go?
Last time was week by week, so nothing.
Right, so it'll be
I would imagine they do the same thing. They don't do a Netflix. Netflix is the only one that just goes like, fuck it. That's the whole thing. Go for it.
Yeah, I like that, to be honest.
So do I.
Because once, and that's how I'll watch the second one. I'll wait till they're all done, and then I'll watch them all. So if we choose to, you can watch them all. In a short space of time, or you can watch a couple of episodes in one night or whatever, instead of
I like both. I like both. Sometimes I like the weekly, because especially if you know somebody that's watching it as well, you can discuss it in between episodes, and you can talk about oh, you see that, or what do you think is going to happen there. So I quite like that sometimes. And other times, yes, I just want if I want to watch 10 episodes in one evening, I watch 10 episodes in one evening. It's my prerogative, you know.
Yeah, but I thought that series was really good. I think they did some cool stuff with the Star Wars universe. I think it's very well filmed. I think the effects are really strong for a TV show, because they've got the Disney money behind them. Yeah, it's amusing. Yeah, I really like it.
So do I, and I love the fact that spoiler, tiny spoiler. The Mandalorian, the bounty hunter, the character, the main character, does not show his face. From memory, I think.
He does.
Oh, does he?
Yes.
One episode, I think it is. But anyway, but the whole thing is.
But generally,
generally does not take, and I like that. I like the fact that you can get quite a good actor to come and do something for you, and you don't see his face pretty much.
I was thinking that as I was leading up to that episode, actually, how cool it is that someone's doing that with. Just wearing the helmet all the time.
It reminded me of Dredd, when I did Dredd, the reboot, not the Stallone one, where there's not that one. It does not show the face the whole movie. That one, I don't know. I've seen the movie recently again. By the way, that holds up. That's a good.
I enjoyed watching that movie. Yeah,
Dredd holds up. One more thing.
Dredd / The Raid.
Absolutely. One more thing on The Mandalorian, and this is to all of you, and especially some people on chat.
Yes, I agree. I know what's coming here.
the character that is escorting is called the child, not Baby Yoda. Yeah, that's fucking retarded. Okay, do not call him Baby Yoda. It's not called
Yoda's
Baby Yoda.
dead.
Yeah,
Yoda's dead, man. He's
yeah.
already gone. He's died.
Sorry, what was that?
Yoda's dead.
Exactly.
In the timeline, this is set a few years after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Yoda is dead. This
Yes.
is not Baby Yoda.
No,
Could potentially be Yoda's baby.
it could be Yoda's baby, but does
But
not
he's
make his
not
name
Baby
Yoda.
Yoda.
Yeah, it's really
He's
stupid.
not Mr. Yoda.
Yeah, it's really
It's not
stupid.
his surname.
Yeah, it's not his surname either. Yeah, yeah. It's like if I'm an alien and I met Marius and then I saw Steph and I'm like, I don't know the name. I'm like, oh, that's baby Marius. No, that's even if there was a son, it makes no sense. You know, it's stupid. It's not. It's the child, guys. Just just get with the program. Okay, Baby Yoda. Honestly,
right.
It triggers me every time. Every time.
I mean, I don't let it, but you're right.
Every time it triggers me. Yeah, I just Twist is saying we should look at how they made the Mandalorian. Yes, I mean I quite like the making of. So that's one thing I do miss with the digital future we are in now, Netflix and so on, where you don't get the DVD extras. You know, the making of or the
yeah. I on occasion quite like those.
However, on Apple TV, as it happens, whenever you buy a movie on Apple TV, it does come with extras. So if you buy so when you select the movie, it gives you extras, and then you can go extras. You have like making of, like you had on the DVD. So Apple TV, certainly, as far as I can see, are the only ones trying to keep that alive, and I quite like that because I do like seeing the making of all certain things. Oh yes, the Holy Apple there. Leave my TV alone. I've only got one. Yes, it's making a pun on his name. I think there. Very good. Right, so the Mandalorian 2 is coming out anyway, definitely. Yeah, so I'm excited for that. In fact, I'm gonna re-up to Disney Plus because I had it for a bit, and then I realized that they didn't have enough stuff for me to keep me subscribed because they have all the Disney movies, but I've seen most of them, and then they have the Discovery Channel stuff, which I've found back in the day when I used to watch Discovery Channel. Remember when they used to be good? Discovery Channel used to be good. They used to make really good stuff. And now, when I watch Discovery Channel, it's all like reality TV shit. It's all like almost, apart from the wildlife stuff they do, it's all reality TV. Let's follow this ice truckers go deliver stuff in the ice and this and that. And I don't know. I'm a bit tired of reality TV like that, but I am gonna re-up for the period of the Mandalorian at least, so I can watch the Mandalorian in full glorious 4K HDR. I'm looking forward to watching the season 2 of it.
Indeed.
So, yes. Okay, I think that's it from us. Really, we've done all the sections. We've done all the sections. We've done the why don't you? We've done the playlist. We've done the. That looks interesting, and we've done the opening questions as well by loads of them by Martin today. All of them rubbish, to be fair. I mean, must do better with questions next time. But yeah, I'm okay to leave it there if you are, unless you have any other bits of news. Yeah?
No, I don't think I've got any other business.
No other business.
No, I think that's it. I mean, all I've been doing is playing Tony Hawk.
It sounds to me like you need an intervention. It sounds to me like you're playing more Tony Hawk than is healthy. I think. Yeah. Question: has the music grown on you now? Because I know it's not the type of music. Because are you starting to like ooh, I'm liking the music a bit more now?
No, I never disliked the music, to be fair, and I think some of my comments last time were a bit off because it's not true that it's not my type of music. I guess I was lumping it all into the sort of American rock,
yeah,
whatever they call it, new wave rock or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know. Yeah. I don't consider that to be punk personally, but there you go. because there's a lot of sort of hip hop tunes on there, which I do sort of like. To be fair, I think favorite track from the soundtrack for you. Mine's for me it's Tribe Called Quest. Can I Kick It? I love that tune.
Yeah, it's that one. Yeah. It's that one.
Cool.
For me as well. Yeah. I remember when it came out, I was like, yes! I forgot this was in it. I was playing. I remember exactly what I was playing, and that's what I like about these games. I was playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, school level. I was coming on the rail as you come off the school, and coming on the rail, that music came out. Can I kick it? I'm like, yes! And then I just started to just go for it. I actually did a really great score on that one because I was really digging the song. So yes, I do remember exactly the first time I heard it again, because I think it was on the original one as well. I think that's probably the best song on the thing. So good stuff.
So yeah, I guess as you listen to something more, it does grow on you, doesn't it?
Yes.
By osmosis. But no, I never sort of disliked it, and I always appreciate the music. I think like I've always said, the soundtrack for that game is good. It's great music at the sort of music it's trying to be. Just none of it really is music that I would ever put on and listen to outside of the game, bar Tribe Called Quest. Everything else I would only listen to in the game and enjoy it when I listen to it, but I would never put it on my phone and listen to it otherwise.
We're getting close to the end of the year, and there's a few new games coming out, of course. Not many now left, so most of the games that are going to come out for the year have come out by law of averages, being that we're in October, right?
Yeah, we say this almost every year, and then
something else comes out.
In the last few weeks of the year, something lands and blows us away.
That's right. I mean, and there's Assassin's Creed to come, there's Cyberpunk, there's lots of games to come still, which could potentially be good. There's the other Ubisoft game set in London. I'm forgetting the name now. Watch Dogs. Legion coming out. So there's a few games coming out. I know currently more or less the top 5 that I have currently, and spoiler alert, Tony Hawk's is in there. Yeah, but it's not in first place. I
wonder what's going to be in first place for Bruno.
Do you wonder? Well, it's cool. What do you think it is? It might surprise you.
It's Half-Life Alyx.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and I played that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am gonna try, and I try being the operative word, to finish The Last of Us, and Last of Us 2, and I have to admit, The Last of Us 2, in parts, was outstanding. I mean, proper, truly outstanding. In parts, I was going like, my God, this is a great video game. In parts, definitely. And it's there on the top 5, of course. But Half-Life Alyx, I played the whole game with a smile on my face, going like, this is just outrageous how good this game is. So I think it's difficult to get any game over that, really.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm struggling with the order of mine this year, because I think that there are several games I could put in first place for completely different reasons.
Yes. So obviously you could put Half-Life Alyx in first place. You could put obviously Last of Us, and I'm assuming Tony Hawk's as well. You could put as well there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a difficult one. I mean, last year I think it was in first year, I think, in a long time, where it was an unanimous between me and you. We both gave it to Resident Evil 2, the remake, which, correct, by the way, that was the right choice, FYI. And in fact, I saw somebody streaming that the other day, and I just installed it again. I'm like, I'm gonna play the game again because I like that game.
You're not.
I am. I like it. It's a great game.
It's so full of shit.
I'm not full of shit. I'm gonna play it again. Unless it doesn't have ultra wide support. That way, I'm just gonna burn I'm gonna burn the PC. If it doesn't give me ultra wide support, I mean, the only games I accept not having ultra wide support is the games where there's no either gives you an unfair advantage, or there's nothing there to put. So something like a Spelunky, seeing more of the map is an unfair advantage. Yeah, you're gonna be putting score runs and seeing more of the map, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, Spelunky I'm okay with not having, and other games where literally there's nothing there to draw, because the games are made like that in panels, and there's nothing there, fine. But any game where there is stuff there, I want to see it. just open it up for me, please. I want to see the rest of the game. So certainly a 3D game, there's always something there because it's a 3D game, right? So I want to be able to see it. Anyway, so that's what I've been playing. Right, let's finish off that, I guess, then with a bombshell that I may or may not play. I told you I played the Alien. Have I said that on the previous podcast?
You did. Not on podcast. We had a phone conversation.
Oh, I forgot about that.
She told me you played Alien.
I played the maybe first 3 hours of Alien. Game is good.
Alien Isolation.
Alien Isolation, yeah. That game is
it's
good.
Better than good. It's an amazing game. Just goes on a bit long. That's the problem.
Yeah.
The only real complaint I had with that game, it just went on far too. It's about 30 hours long.
Is it 30 hours long? Well, okay, yeah, I'm gonna say it for the first
30 hours.
I'm gonna say it for the first time here. I know I promised that I was gonna try and finish the game. If it's 30 hours, I'm not gonna finish that game.
No,
I'm not playing 30 hours. Sorry.
You weren't gonna finish it if it was 10. Don't. Come on.
The fucking cyborgs, man. They're like bullet sponges. I shoot them like 3 times in the head and they don't die, man. What's up with that? Yeah. So yes.
No, I might have been a bit. According to how long to beat, it's about 18 hours long. I remembered it being longer than that, but that's still more than you're gonna play a game for.
18 hours. Okay, 18 hours sounds more. But Ben is protesting on chat because I had like a little thing on my channel where people would put points towards it, and if you reach a certain target, I would play the game, and he put more than anyone else. And now I'm saying I'm not gonna finish it. If it's 18 hours. Maybe. I mean, 18 hours at a 2-3 hour stream, that's like 6 streams, man. That's a lot of streaming. And that's with everything going well. Yeah. Maybe I will.
So that means no, Ben. Basically, what Bruno's saying there is there's not a fucking hope in hell. You've wasted your points, I'm afraid. That's what Bruno's saying. It is. I know what your maybe means.
Look
at the smirk on his face. He knows. He absolutely knows it's not happening. He's still pretending that he's going to finish Last of Us 2.
Last of Us 2. I am. I will. Last of Us 2 got to the point where, yes, it's great. I mean, I like that game. I just haven't had the motivation to go back to it. I don't know what it is, but I will. I'll finish it before the end of the year. I will, definitely, and I will finish. Yeah, everyone is bloody ganging up on me, saying I need to finish in Isolation.
You promise your viewers.
I promise I'll play it. I was very clever with my wording. This is years of politics, Marius. Yeah, I promise I'll play the game. I think you find in writing, I said I will play the game, and then that was how long I'll play the game for. It's not my fault that the people don't read the small print. You know.
You can do 18 hours. You stream plenty. You can do 18 hours of that. No problem.
Well, Twisty says if I don't finish it, it will come to my hometown. Okay, so it's going to go to Portugal. Fair enough. And and start outside your house, turning your TV off. I don't know if you could do that. Actually, you haven't got direct line of sight to the TV, so I don't think you could potentially do that. But it'll be funny. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll finish it. We'll see. Okay. I'm gonna upgrade my maybe to a. Maybe. It's possible. None of this is making it to the podcast anyway. This is all being cut off. All of this rambling at the end is being cut off. So let's just do the outro so that I can stitch the outro with something back there. Right. Okay. So I think that's it for us. Then we'll leave it there, and we'll see what new games we're going to be play next week. I think Katana Zero is definitely one which is on your radar.
Sounds highly likely.
So yeah. Okay. We'll see what happens. I know what games I'm playing. Alien Isolation, of course. That's
You're not playing that again. Never mind not finishing it. You are not putting another hour's worth into that game.
I am. I'm streaming on Monday. We'll see how it goes. Monday, yeah. I'm streaming that on
We'll
Monday.
see how it goes. Again, he's still weaseling.
I might do just. What I might do is, if people start being like that, I might stream it, but stream it at 3 o'clock in the morning. Make you all wake up early. Then, if you wanna watch it, just stream to my American friends instead. You know. Okay, cool. Let's leave it there then. I've been great, and you've been Marius.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go and eat pizza.
You're gonna eat a pizza?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, question to the chat quickly. Yeah, Marius thinks that pizza is the greatest food that is.
It's the king of all foods.
That's what you said, right? I say no, it isn't. So my first question is pizza the king of foods? And second question is, if it's not pizza, which it's not, spoiler, it isn't, what is? People think that I have no taste buds and play Tony Hawk. Yes, I think you're right, Twisties. I think you hit the nail in the head there. I think the king of food is, I mean, and Ben is going to agree with me because that's all he eats, is pasta. Pasta is the king of food.
To be fair, I can see the argument for pasta. Pasta is fantastic.
You can bake it. You can have a pasta bake. You can have just normal pasta. You can have a cold pasta. You can have a pasta salad. You can have there's a myriad of different types of pasta: fusilli, penne, tagliatelle, spaghetti. But no, I don't like spaghetti. I'm making a few strong points there. Ben is going to agree with me. He is right, of course. So I think we have 2 for pasta is king. I think this is over before it began for you there.
Yeah, I mean, in the big scheme of things, I don't care.
Also, I'm going to throw a spanner in the works. I think rice is better than pizza as well.
No, I'm not giving you rice. I'd give you pasta, but not rice.
You're not giving me rice? Also, avocado is better than everything.
Right, we're going to end the podcast there. We're done.
Okay. We've broken Marius. Thank you all for joining. Thanks for Twisties and for Kickass for the follows. That's great, guys. We do record normally on a Saturday, but Marius had to change it to a Sunday. Today.
Hey, we've had people watching us and commenting in chat. Maybe we might have to move it to Sundays.
I don't know. Yeah, you present a strong point there, but Amelia will kill me if I start recording on a Sunday. She's already looking at me like no.
Fair
Sundays.
enough.
No, she's saying no.
No. Okay, Sundays are out. Bad luck, guys. We're back to Saturday.
I'll be back this evening, guys, on my channel with probably PUBG. Everyone seems to want me to stream PUBG other than Alien Isolation. Yeah, so yeah, PUBG. Yeah, maybe I'll stream some PUBG. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Or maybe Resident Evil. What about Resident Evil 2? Maybe I'll play Resident Evil 2 instead of Alien. That's not a bad shout. Right, I'm gonna stop recording. There you go. I stopped recording, and I'm gonna stop the stream. All right, guys. See you guys later.
Bye.
Keep safe. Wear a mask. Be nice to